All right. Well, good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. Again, I'm Susan Silver. I'm the founder and the director of the NorCal Resilience Network. And we are building a regional hub for grassroots organizations and community and activists and governmental agencies and businesses to collaborate and work together on the grassroots projects and initiatives to really transform our homes and neighborhoods and communities into regenerative and self-sufficient places, far less reliant on fossil fuels. So I feel like the work that we're doing really integrates well into the to-dos for the TRCC as a regional hub. We've been steadily developing our capacities and resources, really ready to step up and focus on two goals in the next year, which is our funding ask for the TRCC. The first one being really honing in on how can we truly support this decentralized network and focusing on how can we support the partners. So thanks to funding from the CoLab initiatives in June and August, we're going to be bringing together our partners and really honing in on how can we support the decentralized decision making for our network. And the ask for TRCC is for funding for a staff person to support this network, as well as share stories about what our amazing partners are doing. And as well as build up our fundraising expertise as well. And the other ask is also to support the regional gathering that we have been supporting for the past several years, which is the Building Resilient Convergence. And we are asking for funding to support scholarships for individuals from diverse communities to come to Convergence. So this is a gathering for 500 plus individuals, organizations to really focus on capacity building and regenerative, amazing workshops and music and all that for this conference. The second goal that we have this year, our request, is to support our regional hubs initiative. And this is a really exciting project in collaboration with Daily Acts. And that's looking at sites as showcases of resilience. So looking at, we have three pillars. The first one is the sustainability and the permaculture features. So the gray water, the rainwater catchment,
Susan's muted.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh,
yeah,
we lost you for the last 60 or 30 seconds.
Oh, wow, that was weird. Where did I lose you?
Rainwater catchment.
Yeah, rainwater.
Wow, I didn't do anything. Okay. So this is an initiative that looks at sites as showcases of resilience. So I mentioned the one hub. The second hub is disaster preparedness. And the third hub is these sites and building community and looking at homes, neighborhood centers, schools, etc. And how can they be really inviting the community in to do these activities. And we're excited that we'll be pilot testing this initiative this spring and summer. We're working with the governmental agency who's supporting this through supporting funding for work parties, as well as the infrastructure itself, focusing on water conservation. So our ask to the TRCC is to, first of all, evaluate this model in the fall, see how we're doing with these 9 sites, and they're all rooted in diverse marginalized communities. And then secondly, how can we expand this model so that we, it's not just the 9 sites, but, throughout Northern California. and we want to provide mini grants so that individuals can work on work parties as well as the infrastructure itself, and look at how can we bring in funding to really expand this model. So again, the goals are with our resilience network to look at resilience on so many different levels. First being the individual level. How can we bring in individuals and support them with resilience building? Those that are not familiar with resilience work, like how can they support the work parties, for example? And secondly, supporting grassroots organizations through our network. And thirdly, looking at resilience building on a regional level. And we're pilot testing bioregional groups in Northern California so we can really support the decentralized model for the resilience network. What time do I have?
You've got like 50 seconds left.
Oh, okay. I guess in focusing on the two questions of, we're trying to do a lot. Yes, we're very ambitious, but we're really trying to just focus on the two goals that I mentioned. The first is really working on the back end of the resilience network and the decision-making processes. And then secondly, the resilient hubs. So those are the two focus goals that we have. And we have selected the sites already for the resilient hubs. And so in the fall, as we hopefully get more funding for this, then we'll be asking other sites if they want to participate as well. And hopefully the movement will go viral. And again, it's a collaboration with Daily Act. And we feel like it's very replicable and scalable.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Are there questions for Susan? We have time for about 2.
Okay.
I was going to save my questions for our session.
Okay. Any just clarifying questions about what she said? Like quick ones, anybody?
Well, is the doing the bioregional groups for Northern California, is that a goal 3? I wasn't quite, or is that part of your building up your network?
That's part of building up our network. And I do want to clarify that we originally asked for funding to support capacity building workshops. And that was part of, I'm not sure if it was goal 3 or 4, but actually we found that we've hosted a number of these workshops in the past couple months, and they've been really great and successful. And actually we're hosting one next week with Tom from Shareable, but we're finding that we don't quite have that capacity to have these workshops. So we're actually, unless we find more funding for the workshops, we're going to hold off on that goal, just to clarify.
Thank
so we
you.
can focus in on more.
Any
Susan,
more questions? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
You kind of referenced the focus on decentralized decision making, and I heard you reference diverse communities as sort of places where you're focusing some of these hubs. Can you speak a little bit more around the network's internal decision making structure and how especially representatives of some of the diverse communities are part of making decisions?
Yeah, I mean, we have a steering committee that meets monthly, and we have representation from diverse communities as part of that steering committee, and we have a staff person, and that has been what we have found. What we need to focus on is how do we support decision making from all the representatives. So that's the piece we're working on this summer. Yeah.
Sarah?
So it seems to me that there's a lot of focus on kind of infrastructure resilience around food and water and disaster preparation. But I'm wondering around economic resilience, whether there are local businesses involved or the idea of local institution building or like cooperative banks or any kind of effort to talk about how the communities can become more economically resilient and thriving?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think that the vision is that any business can be a resilient site as well. And then secondly, in regards to economic resilience, the focus is really on collaboration and cooperation and bartering. And so, in saving money, so how can we get the partners in our network, for example, to just support each other, and could it be not necessarily through money means, but through collaboration and not using money. So that, and also supporting worker co-ops, as part of our network. That's really, really important as well.
Is that an explicit part of because that is a form of collaboration that creates economic resilience?
Yeah, we're looking, I mean, we are really looking at a whole systems approach, so it's not just the community gardens that are growing food, it's also what other organizations and entities can be part of this whole systems approach to be building this regenerative system. We have, for example, Bay Area Nonviolent Communication as part of as a partner. So it's, it's looking at the whole system. And worker co-ops are a really important part of that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Susan, and thanks, Sarah, and others who asked questions. Let's move on to Nega, Ms. Bart.
Great. Thanks, Jamie. And hi.